Good morning, class. Let's go ahead and start today's lesson plan. Can anyone tell me the shapes that are listed on the board? Very good. Number 1 is a square. Number 2 is a an octagon. Sorry. Number 3 is a circle. Very good. Number 4 is a triangle. Number 5 is a rectangle, and number 6 is a pentagon. Very good. Can anyone tell me what most of these shapes have in common? Almost all the shapes on this board have sides, correct? Can anyone tell me the one shape that does not have sides? Very good. The circle does not have any sides. Can anyone tell me another thing that most of these shapes on here besides the circle have in common? Yes, each of these besides the circle has corners. Corners are also called vertices, and a vertice is the point where two lines meet to form an angle. So this line right here and this line right here on the square join together to form this vertice right here. Okay. I want you to stay in your groups of 6 as you are. I'm going to go through and label you off 1 through 6. All the 1s will go to one table, the 2s to another, and so on and so forth. Each number group is going to get a slip that contains a certain shape on it. What you'll do is you'll read and discuss the information with your group, and then you'll report back to your original group and read off and teach them the information that you just learned so that everyone can learn about the information on the given shape. So if you all split up into your groups, and I will hand out each of the cards to you, and you'll read it off, and in a minute or so I will tell you to go back to your original groups and you'll read off the information to them. Okay, so this should have given you enough time to go over the information on the card. Now, if you will go back to your original homeroom group and let everyone in that group know what you read. Okay. Now, let's all as a class, we're going to go through the cards. Everyone should know the information that was on each card since each of the members of your group discussed it with you. We're going to go over each of the cards that was given out. So first is our triangle. Can anyone tell me how many sides a triangle has? Very good. A triangle has 3 sides. And how many vertices? Very good. 3 vertices. Can anyone tell me how many sides a rectangle has? Very good. 4 sides. And how many vertices? 4. Very good. Can anyone tell me how many sides a square has? A square has 4 sides. And how many vertices does a square have? Very good, 4. Now how many sides does a pentagon have? 5 sides, okay. And then how many vertices? 5, very good. Can anyone tell me how many sides an octagon has? An octagon does have 8 sides. And then how many vertices? 8 vertices, very good. And then how many sides does a circle have? Very good. A circle has 0 sides, which means how many vertices does it have? 0. Very good, class. Okay. If you will all go to look underneath or in the cubby in your desk, you should have a group of pipe cleaners and a small container of Play-Doh. What we're going to do is we're going to use our pipe cleaners and our Play-Doh, and we're going to join together each of the pipe cleaners with the Play-Doh to make each of the shapes we just went over. So you should be making 6 shapes. So what is our first shape going to be? A square, okay. Everyone get out your Play-Doh and use the colored Play-Doh that each of you have. It'll all be different colors. And the Play-Doh is going to represent the Can anyone tell me? The vertices, very good. And what will the pipe cleaners represent? The sides, yes, and the edges, so very good. So our first one is a square. Your square should look something like this, with your Play-Doh being the 4 vertices and your pipe cleaners being the sides. Okay, let's do a triangle for our next one. Your triangle should look something like this, with the Play-Doh being at the 3 vertices and your pipe cleaners making the 3 sides. Okay, I'm going to let you go ahead and work on making the rest of the shapes we went over, and then once you're done, hold it up and I will look around the classroom and make sure everyone's correct, and we'll move on to the next shape. Okay, very good, class. You all made all the shapes correctly. Now, since we're all experts on our shapes and our vertices and our sides, I'm going to go ahead and pass out a worksheet. This is for you to do on your own. So I want you to get out your little cubbies and set them up around your desk so that you can't look at each other's papers. This is a classification of shapes worksheet. It's just going to go over everything we just talked about. I want you to put your name on it, today's date, and then we'll read the instructions as a class. So it says, write out the name of each shape in the blank beside it, and then fill out how many edges and vertices there are in each shape and the remaining blanks. So I want you to go through, look at the shape. I want you to write the name of the shape in the blank, look at how many edges it has. I would go through and write numbers beside each of the edges and number them, that way you can keep count of how many edges, and then go through and circle the vertices so you can keep count of how many vertices there are, and then write those in the blanks. So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go over that. I'll give you the rest of the class time to fill out the worksheet, and when you're done, go ahead and fold your little cubbies, lay them on your desk, and then I'll go around and pick up the papers and hand them back to you tomorrow with your grade on them. Thank you. Y'all be very quiet.